Hey guys, Jordan Reid here to discuss three prospects Chicago Bears fans should keep an eye on this weekend. And let's just be honest, it's been a very eventful season for the Bears this year. There's not a lot of positivity going on right now as far as with the regime with Ryan Pace and then Matt Nagy. The team is on a 5-game losing streak right now after getting off to the hot start to start the year, but things are not trending upward right now. But the great thing about the Bears is that I think they have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball, but on the other side, the offense is where the most work is needed. And the obvious position that they need help at right now is quarterback. And one player that they should keep an eye on this week, that you guys should keep an eye on this weekend, is Kyle Trask, the quarterback from Florida that is firmly in the pole position of the Heisman Trophy race right now as he goes up against Tennessee this weekend. And I don't know if Trask is going to be a first-round pick right now. That might be a little bit rich right now for him. Opinions are really all over the place about Trask right now. But let's just be honest. The Bears need an upgrade from Mitchell Trubisky and then also Nick Foles as well. Neither one of those guys are going to be the long-term starter going forward, even though Nick Foles is the one player that is under contract for the foreseeable future. Mitchell Trubisky enters unrestricted free agency as they decline the fifth-year option coming into this year, and all signs point to him not returning next year, just because I think this is a divorce that just needs to happen after taking him with the number 2 overall pick a few years ago. I just think both sides need a clean slate. So you bring in a guy like Trask, and even if they don't take him with that first round pick, maybe they could trade up in the back half of the first round and take him with their early second round pick if they elect to trade up to get in that target range for Kyle Trask. So keep an eye on him, a player that has a lot of traits that you love to see at the position. The first thing that stands out about him is just his smarts. He knows where to go with the football. And a lot of people say he has a lot of help on the perimeter, but you go back and you watch him in his previous 3 games. He played without Kyle Pitts prior to last weekend, and he still put up those video game-like numbers in every game that he has played this year. So he is a very intriguing quarterback prospect, and one you would really like to see Matt Nagy get his hands on in that offense. So keep an eye on Kyle Trask this weekend against Tennessee. Some other positions I think the Bears need help at. I think offensive tackle, I think they could get an upgrade there. And offensive line in general, interior offensive line, I think they could need some help there. And then defensive tackle. So those are the 4 positions that I think the Bears need the most help at. But let's get back to some players that I think could help the Bears right away. And the second player that I'll talk about is an offensive tackle. And his name is Christian Darisa. And he's from Virginia Tech, a player that is supremely talented. And he wasn't on the radar of a lot of people coming into the year. But Darisa has done everything you would want to see out of potential first-round selection. He went up against Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago and played phenomenally. And then he also checked another box going up against the talented edge rushers from Miami and Quincy Roche, and then also Jalen Phillips. And he completely shut down both of them every rep that he went against both of those guys. So I think Christian Darisa is a player that if the Bears do want him, though, they're going to have to take him with that first round selection. I think he's firmly in the first round discussion, but I think he would be an upgrade from what they do have right now as he battles against Clemson this weekend, which would be a big time test for him, arguably his biggest test of the year. And then the last prospect that I'll talk about, a bit of an underrated name that's not getting a whole bunch of buzz right now, but he's put together a really nice season. And his name is McNeil. And he's at NC State, and he's a player that is a bit undersized at the position. He's about 6'2", 320 pounds, but he is a massive human being along the interior. And then you talk about Eddie Goldman coming back next year, and Akeem Hicks, even though he has had some injury issues this year, I think McNeil definitely could be that interior presence that you could plug and play in the middle for the foreseeable future. So I like McNeil's spot here with the Chicago Bears, maybe possibly in the 3rd or even the 4th round. I think they can get him at either spot as they need help and just to develop some depth along the interior defensive line. So 3 prospects to keep an eye on this weekend for Bears fans: Kyle Trask, the quarterback from Florida, as he goes up against Tennessee; Christian Darisa, the very talented offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, as he faces off against one of the highest rated teams in the country in Clemson; and then lastly, McNeil from NC State, the interior defensive lineman for the Wolfpack, as he goes up against Georgia Tech.